Hello, everyone. Ryan Neff, national correspondent for Broad Street South Sports Life Entertainment. We are going to do something a little different tonight, and Angel was kind enough to let me come on here and tell my story. What you're going to witness tonight and hear is going to be emotional, it will be raw, it will be real, it will be transparent, and for some people, it probably may be painful and uncomfortable. But the Lord, I prayed on this the last couple days, and the Lord is propelling me to come on here this evening and tell you about a struggle that I'm going to go through. And Broad Street South is named Sports, Life, and Entertainment for a reason. And tonight, it's not about sports and entertainment, it's about life. And like I always say, you know what's about to get real. So without further ado, this is Broad Street Sports, Life, Entertainment. Once again, my friends, I want to thank everybody who's going to be tuning into this, or anybody who views this at your transgression. My name is Ryan Neff, and I'm an alcoholic. It's hard for me to admit that. Some people may say that I'm being overdramatic. Some people will say I'm crazy. I'm not. The Lord wanted me to come on here, and if I can save somebody from getting into this position that I'm in now, this is all going to be well worth it. Let me tell you my story and my battle. It started a while ago. I don't know exactly when. I don't know how. But it really has been bad the last 3 years. And I have a lot of chronic illnesses that I do not deal well with. No coping mechanism other than pick up a beer or pick up a twisted tea. I hope I don't get in trouble for sponsorship or anything. It has rendered me financially destitute. It has destroyed relationships. The other day, it almost left me homeless. And I'm here to say, if you have a problem with anything, don't think you can do it by yourself. Seek help. Somebody tells you you have a problem, don't think you can do it on your own, because most people can't. I used the drink to numb myself physically because I'm in so much pain physically. But when you're doing that, you don't realize the people you're hurting in the process. You're hurting yourself, number one, by doing what you're doing. But then everybody around you has to watch it. But you don't think about that because alcoholics are self-centered. We're selfish. We don't think about anything else but ourselves and to just numb the pain. And a lot of time, the alcoholic doesn't even realize he's drinking that much. He just does. So if I can just steer anyone in the right direction so you don't wind up in this position. Again, financially destitute, almost homeless, not in a good position. And it's not like I haven't had people tell me to go get help before, but you don't want to hear it because you just don't, because most of the times you just don't think you have a problem. Nothing for me to pick up a 6-pack after putting in a day of doing what I do and just sitting there and drinking until the anesthetic kicked in. Okay, the anesthetic is kicking in now. I'm good. I can go to sleep. And then to take half a pill of sleeping medication at night because you don't know if you're going to fall asleep tonight because of the pain. Accept your disease. If you don't accept your disease and you don't admit to yourself you have a problem, nothing's going to work. Nothing. And don't blame others. I told you, I'm going to start getting emotional. I told you it would be raw, real, transparent, uncomfortable for people. Stop blaming others for your issue. That's what I've had to realize. is to stop blaming other people for the position that I put myself in. Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom to touch it, to push yourself back up to where you want to be. And that's something that I've also had to learn. I have sought help by getting into a program, outpatient. I'm working on that. I've also started going to AA meetings, and none of this is going to be easy. This is going to be one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in your life. And I'm speaking to everybody else out there who's feeling just the same. You don't feel like you can do it. It's scary, man. It's some scary stuff. It really is. But you're the one that has to take the first initial step. Only you can be the one to do it. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody. But don't wind up in this position where I thought it was going to be too late. I really did. And through this process, through what you're going through, people will be there if you ask. And people are going to bail. They will bail. That's just the flip side of it. It's 50-50. But you have to take care of you. And you just have to do it for yourself. So if you're out there and you're feeling alone and you're feeling like you can't do it and you feel like there's just no hope, because that's the way I felt. Nobody gave a crap about me. No one gave a rat's ass. I'm on my own. I'm by myself most of the time. Why should I care? But that's the way an alcoholic thinks, because I didn't see. Alcohol blinds you. It blinds you to stuff. And it's no answer. Both my grandfathers were alcoholics. And you would have thought the time I saw one of my grandfathers sitting in the hospital bed, yellow, liver and kidneys failing, the Lord has given me so many signs and I just ignored it. The Lord can only show you so many signs. The Lord can't push you and say, you've got to do it on your own. That's the decision you have to make. It really is. And I want to thank John Geese for helping me out these last couple days. And I also want to thank my fellow brethren at Broad Street South Sports Life Entertainment. I want to thank Angel. I want to thank Fuge. I want to thank Nick. And I've got some other support. I've had a friend of mine that's going to let me stay with him until all this gets sorted out. But this is real life. Real life. A lot of people think you should keep stuff like this private, but I would be doing a disservice to people that I can help. If I didn't talk about it, I wouldn't be able to heal. And sometimes that's part of my problem, is I don't know when to shut up. But I'm a talker. I've got to get it out. And I just felt compelled by the Lord the last couple of days after sitting on it. He wants me to reach out. So I don't ever want to see anybody in the same position. And if this just touches somebody out there, then it's all worth it. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. Just know that people care. You just have to see it. And you can see I'm sitting in my truck because I didn't know where else to go to do this. But I just figured if I was out in nature, what a better place to do it. I love these guys, man. Like I said, if they hadn't been here from me the last couple of days, I don't know where I would have wound up. I really don't. And there's a lot of people that are going to give me pushback because they think I probably should have just kept this private and silent, but I can't. I can if I can help somebody. Angel, I don't know if you want to come on here and say anything because I know you're in the studio. I don't know if you want to help me out just a little bit here.
I got no problem helping out here, and there's a lot. Let me explain something to you folks in case you guys didn't understand exactly what was going on here in the very beginning. So Ryan Neff is the national correspondent we have here on the show on Broad Street South, and the one thing that we're very fortunate upon is, as I stated before, we're a family here, no matter what. And even if there's different faces amongst the group here, as you guys have noticed, there's one face less in the group here, but no matter what, it's still a family. When people go through things, if you don't talk about it, the worst part is if you keep it inside and you don't admit to things, and it takes a strong person. I'm not even going to say a man, because a man can be just anyone, but it takes a strong person when it comes for someone to come out and admit whether they're an alcoholic, whether they have a gambling problem, whether they're a womanizer. I mean, we had Rob Motti on not too long ago on a spiritual show, just about 2 months ago, and he talked about how, the things that he went through in his life. So, we love to have fun in our show, but we also keep it real. And that's the one thing with everyone. And thanks to like David and Nick and Joey for tuning in. I know, good Lord Almighty, I just drew a blank. Mike Goodwin was asking who you are. And if we have a platform where we can reach out to people and people can actually speak and they can go, if they're going through trials and tribulation, everybody knows that we're in a whole different world. We're in a whole different society. Things aren't the way things were before. But when Ryan came up to me, he asked me if he can do something like this, to be on the show and just come out and state what he had to state. It takes a lot, because there's a lot of family members that we know a lot of friends, and they've dealt with alcohol in their life. And usually it doesn't pan out well. And my family's been the same exact way too. I've lost some amazing uncles because of alcohol, because just it when you start making excuses, it's like a gambler. A gambler will go to the casino and say, you know what, I got $20. It's the last $20 I have. I'm going to go spend it because I know I'm going to hit. And then he's out $20, and then he's out there on the corner begging. So for Ryan to actually come out and say it on a national audience, it takes a lot of courage, honest to God. So Ryan's hurting for many reasons, but he's reaching out to everybody. And again, this is not a GoFundMe thing. This is not where we're expecting millions of dollars. None of that stuff. Ryan just wanted to put himself out there and explain to people the way he's been feeling and what's been hurting inside. And it's better to talk about it than keep it on the inside and make it a lot worse. So he's been going through it for the past couple of weeks. It's been building and building. And rather than losing another life, I prefer for him to come out, just like he asked me, and speak in front of all you guys. Like I say, it takes a lot for someone to come out to say what they have to say. I know I went through my depression years ago, and I had to deal with it my way. Thankfully, I came out on the other side. But our national correspondent here, our great friend Ryan, all we ask is you guys. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in this world, but the man is he's going through it. That's the most I can say is he's going through it. So if you guys are annoyed by it, I guess maybe you can tune in tomorrow when everything's back to sports and having fun. But one thing that people don't understand, that's why there's suicide hotlines and everything else, is because when someone wants to listen, some people say, yeah, I hear you. And then they turn a deaf ear. And the one thing, and these guys know it, I'm up late as is anyways. And everybody who's ever known me knows that if you call me, I pick up the phone. That's just the way I work. So for Ryan, it's a lot to make that first step and admit something. That's humongous for anyone out there. So this isn't like a show where we're looking for, oh my God. First of all, we're not a rating show. We're just a show. We're not a rating show or anything else, but this isn't a show tonight. This is just what you see in front of you. For a man to be coming out and saying what he has to say with the raw emotions that he has to say it, you gotta give it up to him, because to admit that you have a problem and to be, on a show where people just see us all happy, hunky dory and having lots of fun and everything else. Yeah, we got real issues like anything else. So thankfully for Ryan, he's reached out to all of us. He's reached out to get help. And that's what life's all about. If you don't reach out and you keep this on the inside, it'll just be the worst. It'll just be the worst.
And, it's not a pity party. I just don't want to I don't want anybody, if they're seeing this, to reach the depths that I have. So if you're listening, whether you're watching this now or you watch it later, because I'm sure Angel will post it and I'm sure it'll be all over, just go get help, man. Don't wait till it's too late, because at some point, there won't be any turning back. And you've got to listen, man. Just don't think you can do it all, because that's how I am. I can handle it on my own. I can do it on my own. I know best. All that crap, all that, pardon my French, all that shit's gonna come out of your mouth. All that shit's gonna come out of your mouth. And all the stuff that you're worried about when you're drinking, no one gives a rat's ass. And I'm drinking to numb the pain. You don't see. You're blind. You're just freaking blind. And again, I'm not doing this because I'm a crazy person. I'm not doing this because I'm, looking for sympathy. I'm not doing it for a pity party. It's just an admission, and I've always been the type of person to talk about it. There's times I've shut down, man. There's times I've shut down and just didn't want to talk about it with anyone. I'm like, I don't want to hear from anybody. Nobody knows. Nobody gets it. Me. It was always me. Yet I didn't see what I was doing, because it blinds you. So, I said I was going to get real. I said it was going to be emotional, raw, real, transparent. It's uncomfortable. And guess what? Sometimes life's uncomfortable. And sometimes people that I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and sometimes it serves me well, and sometimes it gets me in a lot of trouble. There's times I should keep my mouth shut, but I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. And sometimes the hardest part is admitting it to yourself. It's easy to admit to other people when you get right down to it sometimes, but when you look inside yourself and you're introspective, you're the person you're the one you have to help. No one's going to do it for you.
Nope.
And there's been a lot of times over the last 3 years where I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it. And I got myself into position after position after position. And it's gotten me in trouble, and I don't want to see any of you wind up like this. And I'll close with this. And this is going to be the hardest part for me. So just bear with me. And Angel, you can take it after this, wherever you want to go. If you want to close out the show, if you want to have closing statements yourself, but this is going to be the hardest part for me. I've been in 2 really good places in the last 6-7 months, even the last year. And there's 3 certain people, and I'm not going to name names, that I've hurt really bad. And I'm sorry for not listening. I'm sorry for not doing the right things. They know who they are. I'm not going to name names. And I just hope, as I go through this journey and get through the process of sobriety, that I can get back what I've lost, and that nothing's fractured, to the point where none of that will ever happen again. So, and I will also say, love and hug people, just love and hug them, man. The people you really care about, love them and hug them, and treat them like you're never going to see them again, because there's going to be a point in time where you may never see them again. And it's a hard reality to accept. But those 3 people I really need to apologize to. And I miss you and love you very much. And you know who you are. But this is life. This is reality. We talk about sports and other stuff and whatnot, and we're ha. People put on a brave face a lot of times. They really do. and you don't know what's really going on behind the mask. So, but yeah, that was the hardest part for me, Angel. So I'll give it over to you wherever you want to go.
No problem. Hey, if you want to stay on camera, it's up to you. If not, I can take you out here temporarily and bring you back. Whatever you want
Go
to do.
ahead. You're fine. Yeah, you're good, man. You're good.
All right. So listen, again, it comes down to, again, we love to have fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm actually humble that Ryan reaches out the way he does. I mean, we've known each other now for a couple of months, but it just goes to show you how much you can go through emotions with different people. And I'm not perfect by any means. None of us are. We all have our own little trials and tribulations. We all go through different things. Everybody knows it, but it's nice to know that you have friends you can lean on, that you can talk to. Because not too long ago, we just had a show that long ago where I lost a very good friend, unfortunately, because he didn't want to speak, and that sucks. That hurts the most. So for Ryan to admit what he admitted tonight, the healing process is the harder process. To get the help, that's the hard process, because you have to, as he stated, you're going to lie to yourself and saying there's nothing wrong when there is something wrong, and it just, that sucks. David, thank you for the comments here, and hopefully Nick ended up coming back. As David says, wish you nothing but the best, brother. But
Nice.
listen, we again, this is unscripted. This is nothing that we look for any sympathy or pity or anything else like that. It took Ryan a lot of guts to say what he has to say. Hopefully, the people that he had to come across will see this in the future. Who knows? But mend those fences, do what you got to do, and become a better person. As David stated earlier, and I say it all the time, God is only going to give you so much what you can handle. He's not going to give you anything else more than that. And Ryan, you know it. If God's talking to you, let him talk to you. Preach whatever you got to preach and say what you got to say, because that's the only way you're going to make yourself better. So I like to thank everybody. I see, hold on, I got Nick here for a second. I'm still here listening to my mentor speak the truth. Straight from the heart. Love these guys. We're a family. Thank you, Nick. We do appreciate it. But listen, it's tough. I took a non-emotional pill. That's a lie. Just trying to make fun here. So I want to get caught up in it because I can get emotional as well. But just to be strong here for Ryan. Listen, all we ask, if anybody, if you're an alcoholic, if you're a gambler, whatever the case may be, just reach out. Talk to people. If you're going through it, talk to somebody. Don't go through it alone. Ryan's probably seen his darkest days. It was probably his darkest week, I will admit, even when he lost not too long of a very best friend. So to add that along with everything else, it adds. And some people, I know there's people out there that don't believe that dogs or cats or animals are not like kids. You get attached to an animal and it becomes your child. So it's been a lot for the past couple of months. It's been endearing for the last 2 weeks. It's been a lot. And if you guys watched the show last night, you can tell that Ryan was not on his A game like he usually is, because when you're going through it, some people can mask it really well. Some other people can't. But Ryan, he toughed through it last night. But tomorrow's another day. And all we can hope for is, starting from today forward, is that Ryan gets all the help that he needs so he can get better. And all we can do is just support him. Support him as a show, support him as a friend, support him as a family, support him as one of us. Just the way it works. So, Ryan, I don't know if you have anything else in closing, but listen,
go ahead.
Just understand and know that listen, you got nothing but love from us and support. You know it. God knows we talk about 6-7 times a day, if not on message or on the phone. So it's just the way it ends up working. But I don't, I'm not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. If the show is always here for you, so it doesn't matter that we got to get somebody on the show to talk about it as well. We'll do so. But all you can do is just get better, man.
And I'm just going to say to everybody that may watch this later, if you're watching now, or if you're having a problem with whatever and you don't see it, don't become this. Don't become this. Because before you know it, you're going to lose a lot, and you're going to lose it all if you don't take off the blinders and you don't realize what you're going through. So just please, if you haven't heard it from anybody else and you don't want to see it, just look. You see the bags under my eyes. You see how tired I am. You see the crap that I'm opening up about and I've gone through. And again, I'm not a crazy person. I'm not any of that. I just prayed on it. And if I can really help somebody who's either on top of the edge, or they're thinking about going over the edge, or they're starting to climb up toward the edge, don't do it, man. Just don't do it. Because one day no one's going to be around, and you don't want that. You just don't want that. So that's it for me, brother.
All right, Ryan. Well, listen, again, it takes a lot to admit something, and we appreciate you guys even watching tonight. Again, it's not like the usual shows we end up having, but again, this is just, as he said, it's real life. So thanks to Ryan. Thanks to everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow night. I see one more thing here before I end up signing off. Thanks, David.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We'll see everybody tomorrow.